We are back on the Rational Boomer podcast. Hope you're having a great day. We've got a guest on today. Ed was yesterday. It was nice to have him back. And of course, we have Will back because Will went through the week. We had kind of a lot of shit happening up. And as Will is wont to do, he's a little fired up. And we wanted to talk about some of the bullshit that's happening. So, Will, welcome.
Yeah. Hi. How you doing, guys? Yeah. It's been an interesting. Damn. Damn. I mean, as soon as Jack Smith, Judge Shutkin dropped that 160 page um, dissertation on Trump's crimes, it's been an interesting week. But we got to go. That is after the debate,
Yeah.
which was, as I described it in a couple of my videos. When I first saw it, I kind of took Oso's take that it was a draw because it was like menial. But then once you sit there and started evaluating, I started listening to all the people's reaction to it, and then I kind of reevaluated it. Tim Waltz won only because it's simple. You had a sociopath on the right, and you had a normal human being on the left. Sociopath lying every time he opened his mouth. Normal human being looking at him going, "Oh, you got to be kidding me."
Well, even if it was even up to this point and it wasn't, Tim Walz was winning all the way if we're talking about substance. Now, I don't know if the general public cares about substance because they obviously didn't with Biden and Trump. But if nothing else, that one question where he said,
Oh,
do you believe Donald Trump lost in 2020? And he couldn't answer. As far as I'm concerned, that was the kill shot. That was the loss for J.D. Vance and the win for Tim Walz.
and what did JD Vance do today in one of his weird ass rallies slash press conferences? They asked him the same question. He gave them the same answer. We're looking toward the future. He did not say Trump lost the election in 2020. Same damn answer he gave Tim Walz.
the game the
Exactly the
game
same one.
the game they played, and I thought he'd go this way. They will, if did Donald Trump lose, well, Tim Wall or Donald or Biden really won because he's still in the presidency. That's how they kind of play it off. They're not going to say Donald Trump lost. And the only reason they're not going to say Donald Trump lost is because they're terrified of Donald Trump and what he might do. That's got to be starting to diminish a little bit because Donald Trump is just weak and pitiful at this point.
He and that's if you look through some of the 160 pages through this whole conspiracy thing, the way it's kind of it built, it's just you just see a man so desperate to not acknowledge that no one wanted him. It's
Right.
less even about keeping the job, I think, because the job means nothing to him. He made enough money off it. He ripped us all off for billions, literally,
Yeah.
what he
Yeah.
wanted. But it wasn't about him keeping, because he didn't even know the criming stuff was going to, all the criming stuff that's coming now is what he did during that time period.
Right.
I mean, the J6 thing, the documents, even the stuff in New York came later after his president. He didn't know that was coming. It was just his ego could not accept, his fragile narcissistic self couldn't accept that they don't want you, that in your world that you rule, no one loves you. And as Kamala Harris said, 81 million people fired your ass, and he can't get around it. It just it's and he can't let that go. It kills him to this day.
Well, the thing about it is I thought when that people were worried about when the trial's going to start and is it going to be before the election. And in this case, it really doesn't matter. I think this was the end game for him because finally there is no gray area. It
No.
shows what he did. There's evidence coming from people around him. There's no question about it. There's no debate. You may want to try to debate whether he has immunity or not, but that's beside the point. The fact that this stuff came out before the election, it does two things. It gives reasonable minded people some clarity and no gray area. And it also fucks with Donnie's head. So
Oh yeah.
henceforth, it's going to get rough.
And he I mean, you've seen all of his reaction on it already. But here's the thing. I mean, even if he gets immunity, all those people in there that were attached to that do not have immunity.
No.
and they're going to end up like the Tina Peters lady.
Right.
Was Tina Peter
Tina
in
Peters.
jail? I mean, you're pleading. I heard that I'm not a criminal. No, lady, you are a criminal. You're a grade A criminal. You know what's worse? In our time, we would have called you a traitor
Right.
and tried you for treason. Because that's the thing. Here, I put it on one of your comments on one of your videos about it, and you liked it. She chose poorly. You
Yeah.
guys are choosing a narcissistic liar who will not give you anything. He will use you. He will step on you, and that's what he does. And right now, we're 33 days out from the election, 32 now, as this is being
Right.
broadcast, and you can see the desperation everywhere. And the problem with the desperation right now, they are focusing on what happened with Helene as their last to go to, showing that Kamala Harris is incompetent, even if it costs people's lives.
Yeah.
And this is personal for me. I live in Covington, Georgia. We were batting down the hatches. That thing takes a westerly turn, takes a left instead of a right. We would have gotten hammered like North Carolina did.
Right.
I take that personal because we were right in the freaking thing of that. And here we are now listening to all this bullshit that's coming out. All the people on TikTok saying, like, a lot of them going, well, they're only giving 750. But dudes, you have no idea how government works. Republicans did not vote for extra funding in FEMA on the spending bill. So they're running out of money. They've already told them that. And they asked Mike Johnson, and Mike Johnson stated, no, we're not coming. We don't see we have to come back and do another bill until after the election. They
Yeah.
asked Biden his reaction to it. He goes, we need him now.
Right.
Why are they doing it? Because they need a fucking talking point. Meanwhile, people are going to die. People are not going to get what they want. Or President Biden's going to have to do something. He'll do something to help these people. But see, that's what I keep hearing. And the worst thing about Trump, who was in Georgia today, and when he was in Valdosta earlier this week, he shows up. One, in Valdosta, they still were trying to pick stuff up. They built him a podium of bricks that they
Yeah.
came from a building that fallen. To do what?
He's all about the show. It's all
And,
about performance for him.
but then I did a video the other day today that's like I'm so vexed about it because I'm going, why are you doing this? And then and why do people believe him? And then it finally hit me because I'm getting comments on my first video about it. You know, the old, Trump 2024. You know what you're talking about. Biden is this. No. All this bullshit,
Yeah.
which I gladly blocked because I ain't talking to you assholes. And it finally hit me. Why did he stands there and people buy it? And I'm gonna say it, and God forgive me, they that's their God.
Yeah.
And they expect Donald Trump to stand there, raise his hands, and everything's gonna grow back, or everything's gonna build back, or manna's gonna fall from the sky. And tell me I'm lying, because I'm not.
Well,
You've dealt with these people long enough, you know.
when you think about it, I was talking about this before, um, in a previous podcast. Donald Trump is suggesting that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are holding back money from red states,
Oh, I heard that. He
which
said
is
it again
not
today
true.
in Georgia.
Which is not true. There's already money pouring in, and there's resources and people. But Donald Trump, in fact, did hold funding and help back from Puerto Rico. And then when they tried to investigate why it was being held back, he obstructed that investigation.
Mm-hmm.
So Donald Trump's got no room to talk.
Oh, I'll top you on that. There are a couple of people who have been in North Carolina. Hurricane Matthew.
Mm-hmm.
Roy Cooper was the governor, asked for help. Trump gave him 1% of the 100% he's supposed to give him because he was a Democratic governor.
Right.
That is a known fucking fact. And Biden Biden had everything rolling before the hurricane hit the coast of Florida.
Right.
Because he knows how this works. And the thing about it is, if you look at all the Republicans who voted against the FEMA funding, all of them, you look at Ron DeSantis, who declined $350 million of funding, federal funding for his disaster fund. He didn't want it because he said that was woke. That would acknowledge that there's climate change. Now they're sitting there going, I mean, they're trying to spin it. And it's like, I'm watching these guys and going, you got nothing.
Yeah,
You guys have absolutely nothing. And we have to break this down as we're in the last 30 days of it. And basically, for all of us who are blue Democrats or common sense people, and even you Republicans, okay, I'll let you in for now. I still don't trust you.
I don't
We're
trust
all,
you.
but all of us are kind of like the greatest military force in the world in the back in the old world were the Romans. Why? Because they came out with a strategy called a phalanx, where you put all your
Phalanx,
shields, phalanx, all shields over you, no projectiles here, and you come forward. You come forward. You come forward. You keep going at the enemy. They can't get to you. So
right,
right now we're all in that group with them. We should have our shields up. And if someone's weak, get out of there, replace them, because we have to keep moving forward because the only way anyone's going to get any kind of accountability on this bullshit for the last 10 years is us to vote. And everyone's going to vote early. And if you think you want to vote or you have an extra to vote, I'll just make this real easy for you. Jimmy Carter's 100 years old. He's going to vote on October 15th. He clearly said that he's going to make it to vote for Kamala Harris.
right.
And if Jimmy Carter can do it, you can get your fucking ass out and vote. Check your registration and vote. So I want to hear your shit.
Well,
Or I'm scared or it won't count. No.
I get a lot of people angry with me because I get angry with people who come to my page and go, "Oh, I don't know. We're going to lose. We're going to do this." And I said, "Listen, I don't want to hear your bullshit because first of all, you're wrong. Second of all,
Mhm.
if we're in a fight, you're of no value to us at all. Just go in the corner and cry and wait till we win, and then you can benefit from the spoils. But if you're going to be weak about this, you're of no value to me or anybody in this fight." And that sounds kind of cold. But when we're talking about the future of democracy in this country, we don't have time to be fucking sensitive.
No. Yeah, because here's the thing. The I was just breaking it all down. The last next 30 days, let's all talk about what they wanted to talk about, Republicans. They wanted to talk about their big thing was the economy. Okay. The economy. Their thing was immigration. What was the other point I made? I'll probably come back to my hand. Let's talk about the economy today.
Inflation,
Yeah, inflation. That was the other one. Okay, let's talk about the economy. 243,000 jobs today, almost 110,000 more than projected. Um, Unemployment rate went down 4.1%.
right?
Okay, Marco Rubio stood up and said those are fake numbers. Really, Markey? Shut the fuck up. Even the president showed up at Joe Biden showed up in the presser room today.
Which doesn't happen very
No,
often.
and he went dark Brandon because they asked him, what do you think of it? He goes, well, that's what MAGA says is always fake. He goes, I would say more. I was saying, Joe, what do you got to fucking lose? Say what you want to say.
Well,
Say it finally.
I think we're going to see more of that after the election. He's
Oh
got
hell
nothing to
yeah.
lose at that point. He's going
But
to go full dark, Brandon, and it's not going to be pleasant for the Republicans.
I mean, he's saying that because he knows that the MAGA will buy it, but you can't spin that anymore. Inflation is down to what is it? 1.4, 2.4%? It's
2.4.
2.4, which is why the Fed lowered interest rates because they wanted to get it under 2.5.
Right.
That's why they lowered it 0.5%. That's going to include lower the lower the interest rate to buy homes. That's going to be another factor. Um, and then the border. Yeah, keep talking your shit about the border and immigration. You keep spreading these lies. But we all know you killed the border bill. And no, there are not multi-millions of immigrants in here taking jobs and homes.
No.
Keep talking your shit. The thing that now I remember what Trump said today, and I almost threw my phone against the wall and I stopped because I couldn't do that because I need it.
Yeah.
He said that there's $1 billion missing because it went to the immigrants and they're getting free money, but not the people in North Carolina. Really, dude. But see, his base buys it,
Yeah, but
and the press wash it. So
the base is always going to buy it, but there isn't enough of them to win the election. Here's the thing. I've said this before. When you've got a narcissist who's back in a corner and his regular strategies don't work and he's got nowhere to turn and he's being exposed, like in this briefing that was released, It's going to get fucking crazy. The shit
Yeah,
he's going to say and do is going to be outrageous. Now, it's not going to help him because people will realize it's crazy. Some of the shit he's saying already, people are starting to laugh at him. And I think it's costing him Republican votes. I think it's costing him independent votes. And it's not going to get better. He's going to continue to do this.
yeah. He's the thing about it is that, and Brian Tyler Cohen had Mark Elias. He does something called Democracy Watch, and he was talking about the way Trump is campaigning, and he's saying that it doesn't sound like he wants to win. He's just
Right,
kind of holding in place. And Mark Elias says basically all Republican candidates across the country are going, we have no money. Where is the money?
right,
Where the money is either going into Trump's pocket in his legal bills or going toward their lawyers to already file suits against election interference.
right.
That's their T. They just want to get enough votes shaved off in battlefront states. Figure Jill Stein or RFK will push him up, and then he'll get the presidency through that.
If you're
Let
putting
me make
hope in Jill Stein and RFK Jr., you're in fucking trouble
Yeah,
because
and if I
they are
hear
going to be
one more person
inconsequential.
be afraid of Jill Stein,
Jesus Christ.
no, this is not 2016. And if you're still voting for Jill Stein, you weren't going to vote for Kamala Harris or Joe Biden anyway. Get out of the way.
If you
It's
don't
simple as
know
that.
enough about Kamala Harris right now, then you don't know who Jill Stein even
Oh
fucking is.
God, I saw those God those on this. They did. Mika Brzezinski does her own show after Morning Joe, like a little 30-minute thing. I think they do it because everyone, when you watch Morning Joe, Joe steps on her all the time. They finally said, you know
Yeah.
what, give her some time. But she had undecided voters there, a whole bunch of them. And I'm listening to them. And one thing that I saw about the undecided voters, they're really pissed off.
Yeah.
You're mad. Well, she hasn't done this. Why are you mad? You're mad because you are not going to vote for Kamala Harris because of two things. One, and are you still with me? Okay, there you go.
I'm sorry.
One, for two reasons. She's a woman, she's black, or combination of both.
Right.
Just admit it. Say it and just get out of the way because it's the same. I hear you. It's just the same thing. Same thing with the far left Palestinians. They want to. There was an article in Michigan from AP. Michigan Democrats are panicking. It'll be a repeat of 2016. Really? Did you see the Flint rally today? You dumbasses. Hillary Clinton's mistake is she didn't show up around the swing states to shore up her support.
Right.
James Comey did a knife in her, and she should have done that right after that happened. But they told her, "Don't worry about the numbers are okay." Her campaign failed her. Simple as that. Kamala Harris is not playing that game.
Kamala
Her game,
Harris is running a perfect campaign.
yeah,
She's doing
she is up,
everything right. She's got
and
more
she
money
is.
than she needs, and she's
Mhm.
got the time to do it, and she's hitting everywhere once, twice, and three times. She's doing everything she can. I'm
This
not
is
worried
Kamala
about that.
Harris today in Flint, Michigan. Okay, I gotta play this for you. You didn't hear that, did you?
No, we didn't hear it. Just tell us what you said.
So basically, it's a Joan. Basically, she just said, "Don't fuck with me, boys. It ain't my first rodeo." Because
Well,
it's
that's
not. It's not. Let's be blunt. What's going on right now? The reason this is close is because the media has said it, made it close.
right.
The reason it's close because you still have those people who will not vote for a woman or a black woman or a combination of both.
Right.
But what's going on though, the coalition from 2016 is not narrow. It's bigger because we know what Donald Trump is. And those who do not know what he is, we just got a confirmation that with the release of the 160-page indictment. Also, the things that he's saying about the hurricane stuff is bringing about his responses to emergencies.
Right.
Because the one article that came out, and the mass media is kind of touching on it, is that when they had the fires in California, now we know he said, well, why don't they rake the forest? I'm not going to give you federal help because it's Gavin Newsom. But it was even worse than that. He was going to ignore the whole state until two of his aides showed him that Orange County voted for him voters for him in Southern California, that their MAGA supporters there.
Right.
That's when he let them have money. See, that's where he's at. And you people who think that he's some kind of savior, no, he doesn't give a rat's ass about you guys. He
No.
never cares about us and never will. And and the thing about it, to watch them beat, the reason that they're even more desperate, all their October surprises just blew up in their faces.
Right.
There ain't nothing they can do. Um, and the biggest one was the dock worker strike.
Yeah, that didn't go well.
Now here's the thing. I didn't want to say anything as a Teamster, retired Teamster, but I saw that guy. And the first thing on that, when the video they showed him, it wasn't him demanding or making. He made some good points about, they worked for COVID, they deserve more. Hey, I get it, but when you say we're going to shut everything down, we're going to show them and force them to use Taft-Hartley. Let's see what happens. I'm going, what? Because Biden wasn't going to do that. And as soon as they went on strike on October 1, but they said to Biden said, I'm not going to do that. We're going to work it out. And they worked it out. Why? Because that guy, that union president, and from a Teamster, I know scum, and you are scum, sir. You're like any other Teamster president, like Sean O'Brien and Jimmy Hoffa before you. You have a $7 million home in New York.
Right.
A $7 million home. Where did you get that? Really? I just want to know. Just asking.
Do you think
And then
some people have suggested this and some people say it's a conspiracy theory. Do you think that he was trying to do a solid for Donald Trump and why this all happened? Or did it just happen because the contracts were up and it was just coincidental?
contract was up. That's one.
Right.
But the um, his connection to Trump made it suspicious. And then once they worked out a way to get him going, instead of the 50% raise they offered him, he did the 62. Pete Buttigieg was wonderful as transportation secretary. Went in there, worked on both sides,
Right.
and they got it. Where I'm going to say probably is the reaction from the far right and Fox.
Yeah.
They fucking flipped out. Why? Because they were counting on that to crush the economy. And the reason that guy got caught, because I will guarantee you that a lot of his upper negotiators sitting next to him got him in a room and go, dude, we know who you are. We figured it out. Because let me make this clear. Union members can smell a semi-scab or smell a traitor. We know it. We know what you do. We can see the way you work. We see the way you talk to management. We know. We
Yeah.
know how you work. So they went to him and go, look, dude, we're going to let you keep your job, but we're going to move forward on the 62% raise, and then we're going to go into January and try to work on automation. So
Right.
you sit in the corner and shut up, or you will not have your job. And I think that's what happened, because that's the only thing that makes sense, the way they reacted to it. Instead
Right.
of, hey, great, the economy's going good. We're going to have all our products for Christmas. The guys got 62% pay raises. Isn't that great? They freaked out. They freaked out. They don't know why it happened. Why are they doing it? Oh, okay. Okay. That tells me exactly what's going on. I think that guy's not going to be president probably past January once
Well,
the new contract is signed.
well, it's like
That's my
everything that
call.
it's like everything else that comes close to Donald Trump, it goes down the shitter, and he will probably go down the shitter too. I mean, I think even though the contract was up, that's one thing. It was a little surprised just because contracts are up, they don't jump right into the strike right away like
Mhm.
that. There's usually some back and forth, but he jumped right into it. And then of course Kamala and Biden got involved, and I'm sure Biden sat him down and said, "Look, motherfucker, there's going to be some ramifications from
Yeah.
this. You play in this game."
Oh, Joe Biden sent Pete Buttigieg to do that, and we've seen Pete work, and he's very good at his job.
Yeah.
And I think that's, I mean, he just under the auspices of Biden, because that's the thing. I heard one asshole reporter ask him. This was um, not the presser, but before he did he did a press, or I don't know. He met with the press about Helene. He was walking off, and someone said, "Why aren't you commanding the effort on the ground?" And the president came back and looked at him and said, "I'm doing it here from the White House. You can get more done on a phone than me standing around getting in the way of people."
Yeah.
And he walked away because the people think. I mean, let's put it this way: they think Joe Biden is doing nothing. They've thought Joe Biden is doing
Well, they're
nothing.
saying it. I don't know
They're
what they
saying
really know, but they're saying that. Yeah.
because they don't see him. Look, this is what's going on. Joe Biden is running the country. He's president of the United States and he's not campaigning. He doesn't have to campaign. I think he looks chill,
Yeah.
honestly, now.
I do
He
too.
looks like, my girl's got this and I'm going to take care of the rest of the country to make sure everything rolls right when she picks up the mantle. Because he just looks good.
Yeah. He
And
doesn't.
good.
He's got the right attitude. He's got the attitude for success. And I've told this to other people. Once you get to the point where you just don't give a fuck, everything runs much smoother. Once you're in your head and you're worried about this and worried about that and got to cover this, it makes life very difficult. But he doesn't have to do that anymore.
No,
And like people have said, once the election is over and we have the new Congress on January 3rd, that leaves 17 days of a magical hour for Joe Biden. He can do virtually anything without any kind of ramifications.
and that's the thing. Look at the thing about everyone's got to that the press finally has to acknowledge. The New York Times finally had their evening paper talking about how good the economy is.
Yeah.
Not one negative word because they can't say anything
There's
about it.
nothing to
There's
talk
nothing.
negatively.
I mean, is the economy good for everyone? No, no economy is not good for
It
everybody.
never is.
It never is. And some people miss out. But the point is, there's opportunities there. And we have spent 40 fucking years going from a Republican that fucks up the economy, Democrat fits it. We put a Republican back in, he fucks up the economy, Democrat
Right.
has to fix it. Republican comes in, fucks up the economy, Democrat has to fix it. The last one, we had a disaster with Trump because he got the pandemic. We could hand off the economy to competent people again and go further instead
Yeah.
of backwards.
Well, people
Can
have
you
to,
imagine that for the
people,
first time in 4 decades?
when you hear this stuff coming out of the Republicans, you have to understand what's going on here. Republicans have only one strategy. They don't have answers. They don't have
Mm.
fixes. They don't do anything. The only thing they can do, and the only thing they've ever done, at least back to Hillary Clinton, is try to discredit or blame their opponent for things. And now we're 30 days out from this election. Everything they've tried to do hasn't stuck. Now
Mhm.
they're flailing. Now they're panicking and they're trying to grab onto anything and say, that's Joe Biden's fault. That's Kamala's fault. And nothing is working because
Uh,
everything is running pretty well, actually.
right, and the things like to the whole debate, the vice president debate. All JD's Vance said was that if this was to why didn't Kamala Harris do it? Why didn't Kamala Harris do this? And I'm sitting there going, and again, I did a video, but that guy in the meeting post spin room said it, dude. Civics. The vice president has one job:
Yeah.
president of the Senate. Hi, it's in the Constitution, and then whatever the Senate does, whatever the president wants them to do or be in charge of. If and then they have no power to make any changes. And I'm listening to that and going, do you understand that if you have that office, you're going to be in the same boat? Although I got a thinking he's going to get rid of Donald Trump somehow real quick, but
Right.
that's another discussion another day. But that's the thing. The gaslighting is getting to the point. Don't strike a match; we're all going to blow up.
Well,
That's how much gas is everywhere right now.
they're reaching here because they're lost. I mean, like I said, they're always trying to discount or discredit their opponent, and they'd set everything up to discount or discredit Joe Biden. Well, all of a sudden, Joe Biden isn't their guy; it's Kamala. So now somehow they have to connect Kamala to Joe Biden, which you really can't do. But they're gaslighters; they'll say fucking anything. So they're making these claims like she was there for 3.5 years. Why didn't she do anything? What did fucking Mike Pence do for 4 years? What did what did Joe Biden do for 4 years with Obama? He went out and did some things here and there, but it was Obama making the decisions. And the last 4 years, it's been Biden. She's just been there to work at the pleasure of the president, and that's what she did, and be backup if needed.
And also, she's been his advisor.
Yeah.
She's there on day one. I mean, and then Joe Biden was the same for Obama. I mean, with Trump, Pence was just there to yes sir, no sir. How
But they
often do
don't,
you want me to do it, sir?
they're advisors, but they don't make any decisions.
No, but I mean, but I will say this: I'm pretty sure that Joe Biden advised Obama a lot, and I know
Yeah, because he was more
Kam-
experienced.
yeah, and Kamala Harris has invited Joe Biden a lot because he did that for Obama, and I'm pretty sure he took her input. He's not built that way. The point is, those two administrations on both sides of Trump worked as a team. Trump was just Trump
And we
because
know
no,
we
yeah,
know
go ahead.
that Pence gave plenty of advice to Donald Trump, which he took none of. Like, for example, you lost. Let's save it for another day. You're going to lose in court. He didn't listen to it.
No.
He premeditated. He knew he was lying, and that's been documented in this brief. So that's the one difference with Donald Trump. He didn't listen to anybody, and he's a failure in the first place, and he's stupid. So that's why he's in the position he's in now. He wouldn't listen to anybody.
And the thing about it is, like, look at the whole Republican Party at this point. That is a broken
Yeah.
thing. Look at some of the Senate candidates. The one in Pennsylvania, that guy is insane.
Yeah, he's
The
ridiculous.
Asian guy, that guy is nuts
Yeah.
on with his debate. I saw that. I'm going, oh my. Bernie Moreno in Ohio with his comments about 50-year-old women shouldn't care about abortion. That man is insane.
Well,
Um,
he's dumb too. He just
yeah,
thinks he
he's
can say anything and people will buy it.
and that's the thing. I did a video about Jim Jordan because I saw an article in the Washington Post saying that Jim Jordan had changed and he was now trying to revamp his image as a team player and he's working toward becoming a leader in Congress. And I'm reading this thing going, uh, excuse me? This man hasn't passed one fucking piece of legislation. He doesn't, and the reason he's working Congress instead of his district because it's so goddamn gerrymandered. He doesn't worry about being reelected.
Well, and the thing about it is something else has got to be making Jim Jordan nervous is that brief. We know there are 77 other people in that brief that are likely to get indicted. And you know he's in there because he was talking to Donald Trump before, during, and after the
Yeah.
insurrection. So
Well,
he's
that's the
on the
only way
hook
they're
for
going
some
to get
shit.
him out of. The only way you can get him out of Congress,
Yeah.
because I can't believe you people would vote him again, considering his past. We can talk about the Ohio State thing. Everyone that's well known, but he does nothing for you. He
No.
really does nothing for you. And like here, District 14, Georgia. Hey guys, do you really want this woman, Marjorie Taylor Greene, to represent you, who is now spouting that hurricanes are now controlled by Democrats and they were able to push it into red states to affect the election?
Right.
I mean, do you want 2 more years of that? I mean, I don't get these people who vote for Republicans because honestly, and I say this over and over again, to vote Republican is to court death
Yeah.
because they don't help you. They rather let you die, be it in a parking lot bleeding, or right now drowning in North Carolina because they won't give you money to help you because they want to stand in front of the river and go, look, the government doesn't help you. Yeah,
Right.
because you don't want to help us. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't understand this because it's all about these culture made up fucking law wars that don't do you anything. It just makes you feel better because they hate people that you hate.
But don't you get the sense now that after doing this for all this time, people are finally catching up and seeing what's going on? And these motherfuckers are pretty much on the run. They know they're on the run. They know they're losing. Somebody said something to me. Maybe it was Dan's. back in 2016, they had what they called the silent majority, the people that were voting for
Oh,
Donald
I
Trump
remember
that
that
you didn't
shit.
know about. People are suggesting that's the case now for Kamala Harris because they're seeing a lot of Republicans pull away. We're seeing less signs. We're seeing a lot of things that point toward people going, fuck, I've had enough. And they should
Mm.
have had enough. But that may signal something that the polls don't even tell us.
There was a kid in Georgia. He put a video out, and he was talking about he went into Cobb. He was in Cobb County, which is near Atlanta. It's kind of conservative, and he had the camouflage Harris Walls hat.
Yeah.
And so he's walking through, and he did it. He goes, "It's kind of brave because I don't know what he got." He goes, he got a lot of looks with people either nodding at him. A couple of people gave him a thumbs up. He didn't get hassled. Um, it's weird. Um, Georgia, the reason they're panicking in Georgia and they want the hand counts because Republicans can see the writing on the wall here in
Yeah.
Georgia.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
not good. Um, and that's why one thing I wanted to bring up, uh, the some of the rules that the state election board committee, one of them especially, giving the boards in each county the right to delay their certification, even though they have a lawful date they got to reach,
Right.
ended up in court in Fulton County in front of John McBurney. John McBurney, as we all know, is the lead judge on the RICO case with Fani Willis. He's
Right.
also the one that struck down the 6-week abortion ban in Georgia. It's probably going to get overturned, but he's pointed out he went law. He says if you look in the Georgia state constitution, that privacy is written out more than it was in the U.S. Constitution.
Right.
So that law is illegal. And so he heard this case, and I saw the video, and he's listened to both sides, and even the Republican opponents had to say, because he asked them, "Do you think this could delay the certification of the election of beyond the lawful date?" And they said yes, and he goes, "Yes, I I concur with your conclusion," which he hasn't ruled yet, but it's a good fucking bet that he's going to strike this thing down and we're going to get free, and it's going to take him forever to appeal it
Right. Well, yeah,
because
well after the election.
because even if you go to the state supreme court, it's in black and fucking white. You have to have a certification about this date
Right.
and hand counts and all that. That's that you go end up breaking the law.
Well, and the people that might be involved in whatever happens to delay this, they have to take a strong look at those fake electors and Tina from Colorado. Take a look at them going to fucking jail. Do you really want to risk possible prosecution by fucking around and finding out?
I That's the thing about MAGA cultists. That again, it's a religion now. I don't even call it a cult.
I
It's a
agree.
religion.
It's a
Um,
sickness, actually.
they, I mean, even Michael Cohen has said that. They asked him, "Why'd you do it?" He goes, and he laid it out. I got sucked in. I got sucked in the thing till he threw me under the bus, and then I'm sitting in jail going, "What the fuck did I just do for this man?"
You know what I would
Um,
say about Michael Cohen, though?
mm,
I have I go back and forth with Michael Cohen. I'm not a huge fan. Yes, it's great that he's going against Donald Trump. I don't buy that Michael Cohen got sucked into a cult. I'm saying Michael Cohen was like all the other motherfuckers, got greedy, wanted
mhm.
power, saw an opportunity, and wanted to exploit it. It had nothing to do with his poor mind being manipulated. This motherfucker knew what he was doing. He got
Oh,
caught, and now he's pushing back to create another narrative of his life.
well, if you look at it, let me put it look at it a different way. Trump runs kind of thinks he's kind of he runs like a mob boss, but a
Yeah,
bad mob boss,
a bad
really
one. Yeah,
bad one. So Michael Cohen was basically like his underlings, consigliere,
yeah,
and you expect them to back you up, not to sell you out.
right.
He sold him out. He sold him out. And this point for Michael Cohen, it's all about revenge. He's going to
It,
get him for selling him out. And so I'm not saying he's part of a cult. he was working for the man, he was benefiting from the man, and then when the things turned left, he was the one that took the fall, and he didn't defend him. He let him die on the vine.
I'll give you an
So go back
example.
to bitch.
I'll give you an example of something similar to this. John Gotti was arrested and put in
Mhm,
jail. So was Sammy the Bull. Sammy
mhm,
the Bull was his consigliere.
mhm,
Sammy the Bull realized that John Gotti was going to blame him for everything
mhm.
to try to get off. And when that happened, Sammy the Bull said, "Fuck that shit. I'm talking. I'm going against the rules of the mob, and
Exactly.
I'm talking." And how did it end up? John Gotti dies in jail. This
Yeah.
is the same situation with Donald Trump and Michael Cohen. Michael
Right.
Cohen got burned. He let him burn him, and now he wants revenge. And he will get revenge because
Yeah.
Donald Trump did nothing but commit crimes, as is proven in this briefing. The
Well,
facts and the evidence is right there.
so the difference between Michael Cohen and all the others you see, he's stepped into, but it's gone from mob boss to some weird ass religion,
Yeah.
and then because why else would you give up 9 years to do what you know is absolutely illegal?
Yeah.
You know this is illegal. You know you can't get away with it, and then you get caught. And then for a man who does not really give a shit about you, you're doing 9 years in prison. Or every one of those idiots in January 6th in jail. Was it worth it? Was
Not
it
to
worth
mention
it?
Tina Peters, 9 years in jail for her.
Yeah. And then and there's more of them out there. I mean,
I'll tell you
find
how
God,
I
dear
tell you
Lord.
I tell you how deep that sickness is and how he wormed his way in people's minds. These people must have weak minds because Tina Peters is in court being admonished by the lawyer, by the judge, and she's getting sentenced to 9 years, and she's still doubling and tripling down. Here's a sick motherfucker that cannot admit they're wrong even when they're convicted.
And that's sad. I mean, like,
It's nice that we're getting recompense for what they've done. It's nice to see some accountability.
but I mean, but the Constitution has stood for years. It's not perfect. I
No,
mean, there's one line in Hamilton that I was like when Hamilton is talking to Burr, and Burr doesn't want to go with the Constitution, and he goes, "It's not perfect." He goes, "I know. We'll amend it." His
yeah,
point was, we need something. We can fix it down the line.
right,
It's not a perfect. It's a flexible piece of paper. That's what his point was. That's what the Federalist Papers are about. How the Constitution would work overall and the amendments.
right.
But I've never seen this why these people, and that includes the Supreme Court, turn the Constitution inside out for one man who really isn't worth it.
It
I
is
don't.
confusing.
It can. I mean, John Roberts missing. I mean, the forefathers, if they could come back to haunt him, would. Dude, they didn't want a king. You set up a king, one man, because Kamala Harris isn't going to do it. Joe Biden isn't going to do it.
No,
But you have that out there. That's going to change. Eventually, we're going to get back to that mess. But I, the hardest thing right now with the last 30 days of this election, we're looking back on it now because we see the end. We just have to
yeah.
keep going forward and don't get spooked. But we see the end. Now we're looking back, going, "How in God's name do we let this happen?"
Well, I think that's what's going to happen down the road in history. A year, 5 years, 10 years from now, people are going to look back and be absolutely embarrassed that we even went through this because it's been ridiculous. And people like you and I, and some of the people listening to the podcast, we've been saying this for 4, 5, 6 years.
Yeah.
This is crazy. It's got to stop. And we've got the media and all the other people going, well, I don't know. I like Donald Trump. Fuck you. If you like Donald Trump, you're an idiot or you're fucking evil. That's the only two options there are.
But he offers you nothing. I mean, I'll
No.
give Ronald Reagan credit. He threw bones to us to an extent. He
Yeah.
kind of conned us. Um, Bush had some kind of personality, but at least he kind of believed in the Constitution. Both Bushes. Um, and it's just like, but this man is solely for himself, using our country for his own personal gain or own personal. I mean, I've never understood. I didn't buy it from day one,
W-
and I don't know why people are so. I mean, it's worn off because it's an old act, but
We
now before it's just sad.
we have to live with and justify that we allowed a mentally ill person to run roughshod in this country. And the people that fought against him will have the righteousness on their side, but those Republicans that stood with him up to the very end, they're going to have there's going to be retribution, and they're going to suffer for the rest of their careers, rest of their lives, because they're going to be tied to
Correct.
this fucking huge mess. You know, you want to go back to Watergate? Well, people forgave some people Watergate. Watergate ain't shit compared to this.
Oh God, no,
It's nothing.
no, no. Watergate was just. If you look at Watergate, it was just the lying.
Yeah, it
He
was
didn't try to. I mean, Nixon didn't try to overturn the election. I'll be blunt. Nixon wouldn't have done that.
no,
I
no,
mean, he was too much of a patriot. Then the problem with Nixon is just he didn't want to lose, so he tried to cheat and he got caught, and then he lied about it. Remember, it's the cover up that brought Nixon down. It wasn't the
right,
crime.
right,
It was the
right,
cover up.
exactly,
But what you have with Donald Trump was a concerted effort to overturn the government of the United States. In discussion, anyone who tells you differently is a liar or part of the conspiracy. And
absolutely,
that's the thing. This man is running again for president of the United States. He's a straight up traitor. He's a straight. This is treason.
yeah.
I mean, everyone can call whatever they want in the indictments, all those words. That was treason. Is treason.
Well, I
You
want
should
to
be
talk.
tried as a traitor. Period.
I want to talk about that more when we come back, because Dan's
Mhm.
and I were talking about this, and he said something that was pretty significant, and
Mhm.
I don't know enough about it to know if he's right or not. I mean, it makes sense, but we'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back. We are back on the Rational Boomer podcast. Will is with us. Will is in Georgia as we speak. I'm having trouble with my equipment here, so the camera goes off. So those of you, when I go off, it doesn't mean I'm off. I'm still here. It's just some technical thing that I don't know what the fuck it is. It doesn't matter. But when I was talking to Dan's on the podcast, he said something that I thought was pretty out there at first. He said when he read the whole pro brief, and he said there is enough to get Donald Trump on treason ultimately, and
Oh yes.
he thinks that, and some other people too, and he thinks what's in this briefing is just based on Donald Trump's situation on January 6th. But with all the other stuff in there, he's truly expecting there'll be more coming out. Some of these 77 other people are likely to get indicted probably after the election. So this could be a huge fucking process. Everybody says, what are you going to talk about after this? We could probably spend the next 2 years talking about this situation
Right.
with the election interference case in DC.
Yeah. I mean, because the only thing that the Supreme Court, and he's correct. I mean, just the opening parts is treason. It's conspiracy to commit treason because he's trying to change the election using the fake election um, electors. And I don't give a rat's ass if they say that's some part. No, you were conspiring. You knew it was wrong. You knew you lost the election. You wanted to overthrow the government that way. You went to violence on the next point because it didn't work. That's all treason. It's all part of one big long conspiracy.
Well,
And as
when you think about it, you've got all these people who attacked the Capitol. They're in jail. We've got a number of them. The leaders got convicted of seditious conspiracy. Now, if
mm-hmm,
we're talking about sedition and we're talking about conspiracy, that means other people are involved. And those
right,
other people would have to be the ones coordinating. Those people would be people in Congress and Donald Trump himself. I mean, we know Jenny Thomas brought up busloads of these things and helped finance that thing. If they're guilty of seditious conspiracy, so would she, or the members of Congress that are giving tours or coordinating things over the phone. this could spread really widely, really quickly. And what Dan's made another good point. He says, I think what's going to happen is when we get past the election, those people that don't get reelected, they'll be the first ones to get hit.
Oh, this is what's going to happen. And I call part of Dan's. And yes, for those of you who don't, I like pizza, pineapple on pizza. Come at me. I don't give a shit. It's good. Um, but what's gonna start to happen is that once the transition starts and the first nominations, who's going to run what, and the first AG nominations come up, and there's going to be new FBI director. There's no fucking way Christopher Wray staying.
No.
When that happens, watch all the rats come out, and they're going to start running to the DOJ to start making deals.
Yeah.
Because if the AG is not going to be Merrick Garland, if it's going to be a hound, and it's going to be taking that Jack Smith stuff and going, Jack, thank you for that. We're going to go get these guys now. They're going to come out of the woodwork trying to cut a deal because the first one that makes a deal gets the best deal. Last one gets jail.
Did
Simple
you
as that.
did you hear Dan's prediction, or not prediction, or suggestion for who should be AG?
No, I haven't heard that one. Wait.
This is fucking crazy, and I would have said, nah, we don't ever need this person in the administration. That's not going to work. But he says, what if it's Liz Cheney? Now, in that position, I could maybe see it because she is Satan's spawn.
If it means, I could see her doing it to help rebuild the Republican Party. As some people have said, she'll probably be an opponent later on for Kamala Harris. I could see it. She's a
Yeah,
Republican and she's got her own take. But
but
if it's an
she's mean
opportunity,
too.
yeah, and an opportunity, I don't know if she get past the Senate if it's blue. Kamala Harris would have to do a lot of pushing because a
Yeah,
lot of people would have axes to grind.
I don't know that it would
But
ever happen, but I like to. A boy can dream.
you know what? But it's not out of the realm of possibilities. I know that she was on the stage with Kamala Harris the other day, which was, I mean, weird, and you'll have to say it, but she was there because she knows the importance. She has more, and I'm gonna say it. She has more balls than Mitt Romney,
Mitch McConnell.
GW. Yeah, well, Mitch McConnell is he's going down with his choice.
Yeah.
He had an opportunity to end that. He did not, thinking it was going to benefit him. It's not going to benefit you, bro. You're done, turtle. Um, it's not going to work well for you in the end. Could she be that? Great. But I know one thing. It's going to her as a former prosecutor. She will find a prosecutor
Yeah,
to fill that slot.
I
And when she
agree.
fills that slot, and the first words come out who it is, watch what happens.
Well,
Because this DOJ, her DOJ is not going to be sitting on their thumb up their ass.
well,
Not like
and
this one.
whoever, to be perfectly honest, when she becomes president and she's inaugurated, the most important choices for her cabinet will be the AG, mainly because of all the shit that's gone on the last 8 years. There has to be accountability in order for the people in this country to get some closure and be happy about it. And Kamala is not somebody who's going to be fucking around. So she needs to pick a bulldog, somebody who understands the job and isn't afraid to be too political and will go after the people that committed crimes and corruption.
But fuck political. Political's over. Let's be bottom line. Political with what? The Republican Party is dead. It's going to die on November 5th. What I mean,
Yeah.
MAGA. We're going to be chasing down at the end of November. Once everything's solidified, we're going to have to deal with the pockets of stuff that's going to pop up. Trust me, you're going to have to deal with some Meal Team 6 and Gravy Seals to
Yeah.
try to do
Here and
weird
there.
shit here and there. Um, I had someone was talking about, well, they're planning another insurrection. Dude, and I was listening to this guy go, stop doom scrolling, because let me make this clear. Who's president of the United States between now and January 20th?
Yep.
Joe Biden. And the transition, who's going to be there? Joe Biden. What's going to happen? These guys are going to try something. They're going to get squashed. It's over. Thank you. They could show up at the Capitol all they want. You know what they're going to see? Troops.
Well,
It's not. It's not going to be friendly. Stop
somebody
it.
Somebody we had on the show, and I don't recall who it was. They don't even have to have troops up there. They need three guys on the roof with 4 or 5 drones and
Oh yeah,
with weapons on them, and those motherfuckers will be in trouble. Once they see
I
the
mean,
drones, they better run because
and that's the thing.
they're
Don't worry
in
about
deep shit.
the violence. If it happens, unfortunately, it'll be like domestic terrorism. I don't like to say that, and I want to bring it to fruition. God forbid, but it's not going to be what people think. There is no organized troops for Donald Trump.
No, and
It's
they aren't
not
going to
going to
do
happen.
anything.
There are no units of the United States military are going to support Trump if he says so. It doesn't work like that. I don't buy that fantasy
No, I don't
because if the
either.
sooner that happens, trust me, the rest of the military is going to turn on him. Because what are you going to do? Attack civilians?
Yeah,
That's what the military does not do. The point being is that I'm not worried about that. What we have to worry about is the pockets of political resistance that will still be around.
right.
MAGA is not going to die with Trump. It's going to die a slow death. And the first ones we have to start getting rid of some of these Congress people like Marjorie Taylor Greene, Lauren Boebert, Matt Gaetz. Those people have to be removed. Some of them may remain. At that point, they're going to be a loud pain in the ass.
Well, and we should learn a lesson from this too. You remember the Tea Party? They were
God,
kind
yeah.
of they were kind of the predecessor of MAGA, and they kind of faded away. But a lot of people in MAGA are holdovers
Mm-hmm.
from the Tea Party. And guess what happened? They got worse, they got more volatile, they got
Mm-hmm.
more inflamed. So if we allow anybody from MAGA to continue to exist, the next time will be worse than MAGA.
Right,
So we have to eradicate it like a cancer. We have to get rid of
right.
all of it. Otherwise it could grow back and rear its ugly head again.
Because the thing about it is that you have to have first blue. It's got to be 4 years of blue Congress. We can't have a midterms where everyone turns over. You
No.
can't do that because there is no Republican Party, and the Republican Party, if it dies the way I think it's going to die on November 5th, they won't have anything to do on midterms because what they're going to again, what are you going to run on? Because if everything works the way we think it's going to work, the economy is not going to be the issue. Everything's going to work step by step. The border isn't going to be an issue. Culture wars aren't going to be the issue because a lot of your bullshit is going to be removed. Yes, there'll be states we have to deal with, like
Yeah.
Louisiana, who just declared the abortion pill like a what is it? A, 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 um, a similar to heroin drug
Oh
that
yeah.
has yeah,
A Schedule 2 narcotic or
yeah,
something.
it was ridiculous. You have the board of education head in state board of education head in Oklahoma, who advocated that Bibles have to be taught in the school. What Bibles did they buy? Trump Bibles. Are you out of your motherfucking minds?
Old
See,
Soul
we're going to
sent
have
that.
these pocket of shit we have to deal with.
Old Soul gets fired up about stuff, and she sent me a link to this guy just so people understand. There are certain
Oh,
things that are removed and burned in Oklahoma schools in their libraries, and one of the things they've accepted is um, the Trump endorsed Bible into their curriculum. So now this guy is going to the superintendent asking for $6 million to buy those Bibles from Trump to put in the schools in Oklahoma. This is the superintendent. Tell me this is not another grift by Donald Trump.
it's a
You
huge grift,
tell
and
me.
that guy he's hated there, but they voted him in again. I do not get you people. Is it
Oh,
that you don't want to vote or you're just out of your goddamn minds? This culture stuff does not work. We are not what they say. We are not that people. We are better than those people. And I don't get it.
I think
I
most
just,
of us are, but there are some that aren't. I mean, there are
but,
some that are just the scourge of the earth.
but we put these people in power and allow them to work you.
Two reasons. We've got the scourge and apathetic people who don't bother. That's why we get it. They get in and they get elected because regular people say, I don't fucking care. And that's why we're in this position now because of apathy. The only good thing I think Donald Trump did is he woke a sleeping giant.
Right.
And now it's going to be hard for people to be apathetic anymore, even after November 5th, because we see how badly we got fucked.
And the thing about it too, it's like again, they keep trying to say the abortion thing doesn't matter and what women feel don't matter. Dudes, really? I mean, I keep hearing you say this. Good luck with that.
What
Because
are they trying to
women don't,
convince themselves? Because
yeah,
women don't
basically,
feel that way.
I mean, look at everything that came out of JD Vance's mouth about women. It's just, you got to be kidding me. Let's bottom line what JD Vance think of women. They should be brood mares.
Yeah,
End discussion. That's what he thinks. I mean, I don't, and they think that's a good idea. Donald Trump sounded like some kind of weird ass serial killer at a campaign saying, I'm going to protect you. Dude, really? That was creepy. I
yeah.
told my wife he sounded like one of your villains from Criminal Minds that you watch all the time on TV. Oh, it was bad.
See what you think
Oh,
about this. Everybody says, well, Kamala should do this. She's not doing that. She should do this. I'm saying Kamala didn't have to do anything because the Republicans are doing a wonderful job tearing themselves apart. That's
and
the thing
let's,
that's going to
yeah.
get Donald Trump to lose because people are scared and hate these motherfuckers.
I mean, before the vice president debate, was it, I believe it was the Post that described Tim Walz as being put in bubble wrap. He's never been out and open. He doesn't do anything significant. And I've read that article and go, he meets with people all the time. Have you seen JD Vance meet with people?
Yeah,
Are you kidding me? And then when he got to the debate, I'm sorry, that man was the problem. The only problem with Tim Walz is that he's a teacher,
right.
and a teacher is going to turn around to a trouble student and try to talk him out of his shit. That's what he's trying to do to JD Vance, dude. I know you're crazy, but let me help you. That's what I heard from Tim Walz. I
Yeah.
can help you. Okay, I can help you. Bye. I
Well,
mean,
and that's the thing. I think a lot of people thought it was going to be a boxing match. I thought
no.
Tim Walz was going to tear him apart. I thought that might be the case, but Tim Walz had a couple problems. First of all, JD Vance played this so differently than expected. You expected him to be in your face and making these crazy statements. Instead, he kind of deferred to Tim Walz, and that's a harder situation to go after and kick somebody's ass when you're doing that. I think people hope for it, but thank God for that last question because, as I said, that was the kill shot. That was what lost it.
Also, it's just like what the way Tim Walz spoke to the American people was just him being him and being human. And I shared a moment with my wife. We are dealing with a campaign that's full of humanity on one side and total empty, narcissistic, sociopathic inhumanity on the other. And the
Absolutely.
biggest example of it is Kamala Harris, who loves going to bakeries and cooking because that's who she is, at a bakery, asking the person across the counter, "Hey, that coffee, how's it made?" "Oh, that's a nice coffee." She goes, "We make it with sour cream." And she goes, "Really?" And she calls her sister from behind the security to come up to her, and she goes, "Hey," she goes to the lady, "I need two pieces. See, they make this with sour cream like my our mom."
Right.
That's human.
Well, and I think people
That's
are
just
ready for somebody that's human for once.
and but she's not weak. See, the problem we have with a lot of these so-called alpha males, they don't understand what it is to be strength in humanity.
Right.
Tim Walz is a strong man because he's strength in humanity.
Right.
Kamala Harris is a is human, empathetic, but also she will fight to the death if you hurt somebody. That's her job. Her job was to get him because if you hurt someone that she was charged to protect, she will get him because that's how she feels, and that's a big thing that comes across whenever you see her.
I have a theory about why Liz Cheney came out and campaigned with her. A lot of people have things they're worried about, things they're happy about it. I personally think that Kamala Harris knows she has the Democratic Party wrapped up, the
Mm-hmm.
unified Democrat. She's going to get all their votes. She's going to get some of the independent votes, a lot of the independent votes, maybe most of the independent votes. I think bringing Liz Cheney out was basically to appeal to the Republicans and say, look, I know you don't want to vote Democrat, but Liz is doing it. It's okay. Giving them permission to vote Democrat this one time.
But see, but the Republican Party of Liz Cheney and Dick Cheney is gone.
Yeah.
They're never going to get it back. And the other reason they're not going to get it back is that if you have a Kamala Harris who has struck the middle, strong defense, strong foreign policy, she's already said that. So you can't take that from her. Strong economy. There's nothing you're going to say with the old government small is going to work,
Right.
especially if the economy's working, taxes are coming in, and the deficit is small. You have nothing to run on because that's been the Republicans for 40 fucking years. And she has struck this middle ground that basically is taking the best of the Republican message, but putting in an opportunity economy that's going to work for all of us.
Well,
So the Republican Party has nothing to run on anymore other than the shit they've been running on.
well, and that's the problem with politics in the last 40 years. It's always the same. The Democrats do this, the Republicans bitch about the Democrats doing that, and so forth. What really needs to happen is what sounds like Kamala's going to do. She's going to be a Democrat, but she's going to be a little stronger and she's going
Mm-hmm.
to focus on those things that the Republicans always bitch about. And like you say, take that away from them, take that power away from them.
And the only people who will really complain are really far left
Yeah.
Democrats, but they're kind of out of it. Because I will even say this AOC is down with her because
Yeah.
AOC is talking like her. Bernie might be a problem because he still lives in some weird fantasy world. That's my take. But because a lot of the far lefts think that all business is bad business. No, guys, doesn't work like that.
No.
You know, there's a compromise. Good regulation gets good business. That's what she's been preaching. These are things that Republicans have been preaching for decades, and the far left has fought, and they use that to beat Democrats about the head. They got nothing anymore.
Well,
And
here,
that's
here
the goodest, best thing for us in the future.
here's the problem with the far left. They're kind of confused right now because Kamala may not be saying all the things they want to be said on the far left. And frankly, that's not a winning proposition anyway to go way, way, way left. But she is a black woman. So the far left is content with that because that's the first step, hopefully, in getting what they want.
I will say what um, Al Sharpton has said for years that they are latte liberals, and the reason he said that is because they never put up when they shut. They never put up
Yeah.
because those people are very rich and they are not content with Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris bugs them. It bugs them to their core. I'm sorry, because the biggest thing that we're all going to have to get used to, and this is why you still have a good size of people supporting Trump, is that someone made a comment to me once of that. Why do we keep talking about color? Why is color matter? Dude, color has mattered since day one that this country was built.
Absolutely.
Okay. I mean, it led to a civil war, which led to the civil rights movement, Jim Crow, civil rights movement, George Floyd. Color has always mattered. Okay. The issue with the color, though, is that in the background, the United States is mingled up. It's not all one color. It's
Right.
just those people who have been at top who had, and someone made a good comment about it, who had used their white skin as an asset, now feel that that asset doesn't benefit them. They had a video of a woman, of a bunch of people complaining about Haitians that got everything. Yeah, they work for it. You don't get shit. One thing about America, America's always told you, you don't get anything beyond what you need unless you work for it.
Right.
And that's the thing. That's always been the American dream. You work for it. They tell us that. Okay, the game has been rigged for years, and people of color had to work harder for it, which usually brings resentment for people on the other side. But what you're seeing right now with the way she's speaking of opportunity and economy, everyone's in on it. No ideology, no color, come with it. The people are fighting it know that that's going to take away their power, and that
Now,
scares the hell out of them.
Now, Florida and North Carolina are hugely important in this upcoming election. And both these places were devastated by Hurricane Helene. Now, Biden is doing everything he can at this
Mm-hmm.
point to continue to help them, give them money, give them support, and all this stuff. But given how important these two states are, don't you think it's kind of incumbent in her campaigning that she shows up a lot in Florida and shows up a lot in North Carolina to give them the understanding that we're doing something, we care
Mhm.
about you. Because frankly, if she was to win Florida and North Carolina, game over.
Yeah, Florida not as bad because you're talking about small part of the state.
Yeah,
Yeah, but North Carolina, you got half the state that got hit.
yeah,
Um, her dilemma will be is that if you show in North Carolina, you don't want to be around there and take resources away because
right.
again, the security is going to be a lot.
True.
Um, she was she's been on helping out, but she's not. She doesn't want to interfere with it. I get it. She's not
No, that makes
Donald
sense.
Trump. She knows they know she's helping out. Those who don't, who say she's not, well, they don't give a shit anyway. They don't care. They never have. They're going to use it as a political point for what's happened for this tragedy. That's the hardest thing that I just cannot wrap my fucking mind around is the people who are using this as a political ploy. Just cooperate and just say that the federal government's helping out. Come back. The Republican Party, hey guys, Congress, the clown Congress, you haven't done shit. Do you know if you actually showed up and passed that bill, that would help you in the election?
You would think so.
I mean, I mean, you guys are so bent on not having anyone win without looking at the bigger picture. You just go in there, pass the bill, done, goes to the Senate, done. You can say, hey, we did something for the American people. 30 days for the election. And a lot of guys, a lot of people in really tight congressional races, Republicans, might look at that as an opportunity. But no, they can't do it because it would look bad for Donald Trump and for the far right. You guys are dumbasses in that situation.
We've got 30 days before the election. Donald Trump is fading fast. He's got a lot of problems. He's not doing well in the polls. We've got all this information from the briefing. Do we start seeing more and more and more Republicans stepping away from him, or at least trying to get some space between them, or do they ride this motherfucker over the ledge?
People like Lindsey Graham are going to go over the edge, but he's not up for election.
Yeah,
Um, the crazies will stay with him. Those who are, I mean, it's what I've read on a lot of the close congressional seats. They're trying to distance themselves with abortion and stuff, trying to say, no, we're not that way, but it's not going to ride with people. They are already trying to do it. I don't think they have the balls to do it, Mike. I think they're going to
well,
lemon it. I think they're going to lemon it, lemmings over the cliff because
probably.
they're too deep in, and you got to ride with what you got. And I think they rather go over the cliff than see the stop. Because what are they going to say? I don't believe in Donald Trump. I believe in country over party. That
Yeah,
ain't going to
probably
work.
not.
I mean,
You
they're
know,
done.
I'll give you an idea how desperate Donald Trump is. Donald Trump is just freaking out about him being connected to Project 2025. And he is connected to Project 2025. Half his administration is working for the Heritage Foundation and or Project 2025. His name shows up in the document 300 plus times. JD Vance wrote the foreword to a book about Project 2025 coming out. Nobody is more connected than Donald Trump. Donald Trump went on to say yesterday or the day before actually, and he said Kamala Harris and the Democrats are constantly doing these ads saying I'm connected to Project 2025 and I'm not. And they've been notified legally that I'm not connected to 2025. Now, you wonder what he means by that. Do you mean that um, you sent her a cease and desist letter? Because she ain't ceasing or desisting. And what are you going to sue her for? Defamation? You've got some experience with defamation. You're going to fucking lose because it's evidence is all right there.
He's, oh my God. I can't. That's delusional beyond delusional.
It is.
I mean, that's literally
Well, think about
what. Good
this.
luck with it. Good luck with that. Fine,
His
whatever
str-
works for you, man.
his strongest things coming up to this election was Project 2025, the whole dystopian shit, the draconian shit, and abortion. And now here we sit when those are the two things that are working against him, the worst things going for him. So the best things he had at once, he's now running away from. And then once he does that, what do you got? You got nothing.
They got nothing now.
Right.
I mean, if you watch, they have no money. That's why he's doing these weird ass pressers, knowing that the press will run to him because, well, I mean, it's they're flies to excrement basically. Um, and if you watch his performances, um,
Well,
I'll be honest.
you just watched him, right?
Yeah, it's like he he's not well.
No,
He's
he's
not
not.
well. I mean, I'm not talking mentally what's coming out of his mouth. Physically, I think he's starting to totally break down. Look, we've all been young once. When you and I, we used to do things. And the other day, I'm trying to get into my wife's car with my knee, and I fell down on a parking lot ground.
Wow.
And I had to crawl up into the car. And I sat there and going, I mean, shit catches up with you. All right. And
I
so,
know.
as a good example, I am not a small guy. I've never been small in my life, but youth, I worked, I was able to do everything. Well, guess what? Time always wins.
Right.
And he is still 78 years old, bad diet, no exercise. He's running a campaign. He's on a really tough, stressful schedule. In addition to that, the stress of the courts, the stress of everything else. He is not long for this planet.
I've
I
said
honestly think that.
I said that leading up to this. I said I don't know that he's going to be the nominee because I don't know if he can hold under the stress and the physical problems he has. I really believe that he would drop before now. And now that he has it, I'm hoping he stays ambulatory until the election because I
Oh,
think
he's gonna.
he really needs to experience that destruction.
I think he's gonna get. He'll get past November. I mean, we're 30 days close, and that I think after everything gets settled, when everything realizes and everything just collapses on him, that where we're going to see probably a serious medical emergency with Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Something is going to happen. I'll be honest. If he won I think the reason that J.D. Vance was pushed on Trump, the cabal, with Peter Thiel cabal, was hoping that they can get Trump removed from office or he would pass away soon, and then they get their boy in the Oval Office, which
I
is
think that's true.
that's a
At first, I thought that was
scary.
crazy, but you make
No,
sense.
I don't see that. Um, and I could see everyone's talking about, well, Trump will never go to jail. Yeah, he probably won't because I don't think he's going to make it into the middle of 2025.
If
I
he
really
lives,
don't think so.
if he lives, he will go to jail, or they will try to get him in some kind of mental institution as opposed to jail.
He's not going mental. I think he's either going to go he's going to go Howard Hughes, or he's just going to one day it's just you're going to look at your phone and go, "Oh shit, it finally happened." I mean, honestly, I think
He
that's where we're going to be at with
he
him.
can't really go Howard Hughes and be this hermit because he's going to be required to show up in a lot of court days. Three different trials, not to mention the appeals, not to mention the lawsuits. He's going to have more lawsuits after this is all said and done. This motherfucker is going to be busy, and that's why you may be
You
right
know,
that he can't hold up
I
under
hear
all of this.
I hear people talk about, why don't we Kamala Harris pardon him so it's just nothing. I don't
No,
think she would do that. I'm going to propose option B. Option B is this: all your conspirators, we're going to prosecute to the full extent of the law. We're going to put them in jail. This is what we're going to do for you, buddy. Um, you give us back all the documents. All right. You stay in Mar-a-Lago with a little thing on your ankle bracelet, and we won't bother you again. You don't do another presser. You don't talk. You just stay in Mar-a-Lago behind the closed doors, and that way you don't go to jail per se. It'll be your jail of your own choosing, and then we're done. And the reason I say that because if you look at it, and I'll say this and say before everyone goes, well, we should pay for it. Humiliation beyond belief. You're the expert in a narcissist. How would that work with a narcissist, sir?
Oh, it's
If you
horrible. Yeah.
isolate him like that.
I said, probably 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I said, I don't know if he'll ever go to jail, but when he's broke and has nothing and is embarrassed and is a pariah, that may be the worst punishment he can do. Now, that was before we knew all of what's going on. Now, with what I know and the types of crimes he's being tried for, he's got to go to jail. I mean, you just don't get out of jail for all of these things. And here's the thing.
Mhm.
I think it's important that he is accountable and that he is found guilty over and over again and is punished in an
Right.
appropriate way. Because, when it was Richard Nixon, they said, well, if we punish him, then it'll be bad and divisive for the country. I think the opposite is the case right now. We've
Right.
dealt with this for 8 years. People got a lot invested in him being held accountable. If we don't hold him fully accountable, that's going to cause problems like what they
There's
worried about with Nixon.
there's I agree with him. I mean, one of the stipulations to Plan B, I'm talking about, he would have to plead guilty to everything, and
Yeah.
then they give him that sentence.
But he won't do that.
Yeah, I know, but I agree with you. I would hope he would, because maybe he could see the right. But there's I don't know if you ever seen Inherit the Wind. You ever seen that movie?
I believe I
Years
have.
ago.
I don't recall it though.
There's a scene at the end where the main character, who's been kind of like a Donald Trump, always out, always doing, always that, this was his one last chance to make a big point on this case, and he loses because the rest of the people don't want anything to do with this. We're done.
Yeah.
We're embarrassed, is on that. And he, at the end of this trial, the guy's innocent. They try to walk away. He has this huge speech he wants to tell everybody. And they say, hey, say it what you want, but the court's over. He's trying to speak this speech, and everyone's screaming and yelling around him. And the man literally collapses on the ground because he became insignificant.
Right.
No one cared about you anymore because you worn out your welcome. Everything you did was for yourself. Now, is my idea palatable? No, to an extent. But to me, as punishment, because he does have a martyr thing going on. If
Yeah.
he's in court, he will be in front of the press. The press will still go to him. He'll still talk his shit. But if you go, dude, you stay in Mar-a-Lago, you don't come out, we won't put you in jail, and then you've been humiliated 3 times with losses. I mean, to me, that's punishment beyond belief.
But don't you think
Um,
don't you think after the election and he loses yet another election and he loses in a big way, presuming that happens,
mhm,
doesn't his support just fall off in half or in two-thirds? He's not the same guy that came out of 2020. People are
mhm,
worried about, well, he'll say it's a fake. I think people are going to laugh at him at this point because he'll be such a joke. He'll be the butt of all these jokes. He won't have the support he once had. There's nothing to gain by supporting Donald Trump. There's no money, there's no votes, there's nothing.
mhm.
And this is why I'm looking forward to the trials afterwards
Oh yeah,
because he's going to be the most vulnerable he's ever been.
yeah. It's going to be once he loses the election. See, everyone's concerned. Well, they say, well, they've been at this for years and they're ready to go lawyers. Yeah, so is the other side. We know what
Yeah.
you're going to do. The last time was like, what? It was caught everyone by surprise because who does this?
Yeah.
I mean, who does this? And they're saying, well, now they're prepared because yeah, we're prepped too.
Yeah.
They know your game plan. Why? Because you talk the shit about it instead of doing secret. And you're when you get into court, good luck with that. Because I don't even think the Supreme Court's going to save your ass with that. They don't want that heat.
Well,
No,
no,
hell no.
especially when that heat involves a entirely different Congress where no Republicans are in charge and a
Right.
Democratic president that's safe for 4 years. They're going to change their tune. They're going to try to change their
Right.
tune. They're going to try to back off and be better. It won't make a difference. They've still committed the crimes
And
they've committed.
in the election, let's as we circle back to what I'm talking about, it is not going to be close. I don't give
No.
a fuck what people say it's close. It's not going
No.
to be close. This is going to be a landslide close to Reagan. I don't know. Probably not that big, but it's going to be where states you didn't expect him to lose, he loses. There'll still be the holdouts, um, but I think at that point the the vote count and the electoral count is going to be so big, you're going to walk into court and go, "It's fake. It's a cheat," and they're all going to go, "That big?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't work like that."
Well,
And I don't care. I mean, that's what we need. Once you get that big a win, you can't fake that. It's
there's going to
impossible.
be there's if it happens where it is a landslide or a significant win. I mean, significant win. I don't know if this is hopeful thinking or I believe this to be true. There's got to be a rebuke of media in general because they've
Oh hell
spent
yeah.
all this time telling us it's close. Yeah, and I've said this in other things. How can they continue to tell us it's close when it ends up being a landslide? When people like you and I sitting in our homes, nobody's telling everybody it's going to be a landslide. How did we know? And they didn't know. I'm contending they did know. They just fucking manipulated the people. And once people understand that, they're going to stop watching that shit
Yeah, they're. I mean, again, they think it's helping ratings. It's not helping ratings. Ratings have gone down. Mass media ratings have gone down.
every year.
Alternative media has gone up. Right wing media is still the same size they are, because you can't. Fox News is a joke.
Right.
You cannot spin this any more than what it is. You got nothing. You got nothing. There's nothing to spin. The only thing you have is this really harsh propaganda about immigrants. This is old. This is old. You guys cannot spin this. You cannot spin the math on the economy. You cannot spin the culture wars, because the majority of us are going, we're just tired. I
Yeah, we
can't do
are.
this I can't do this bullshit anymore. We're done. And that's the thing. There's such the huge contrast of Kamala Harris to Donald Trump. Just a humanity contrast. Sorry again for those who were Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton did not have has the humanity that Kamala Harris is showing.
Whether she was capable of it or not, the perception was she wasn't as human as Kamala Harris. Right now, and you got to consider the time, the era, but Kamala Harris is a much better candidate than Hillary Clinton. And she's
Yeah,
similarly qualified, if not more qualified than Hillary.
and I think part of I'll say this: Hillary, Kamala Harris has dropped the ideology that I'm a Democrat
Right,
and the leftist. No, she is selling. I'm an American. You're an American, and this is what I can do for all of you.
right,
We are an American people. This is how we do it in America. I think the problem has been for Democrats. This is how we do it as Democrats. No,
right,
she is saying this is how we do it in America. This is how we do as Americans. This is how we do with our neighbors. The choice of Tim Walz solidified that, because everyone's saying, well, it'd have been Josh Shapiro, he would have killed JD Vance. Yeah, but he probably wouldn't have brought in a lot of independent voters, because the biggest sign of that debate was the CNN afterwards. And
right.
those things are rigged. You
Yeah,
know it, I know it. But when you start asking independent voters who think win, and they go, and even on the Fox one, they say Tim Walz did because he sounded human,
yeah,
and I believed him. And Fox went into panic mode and killed it, because they hear it. Because that's what we need. We don't need a screamer anymore. Done
no,
with the screaming. We need someone who will say, Tim Walz is the teacher that I had, you had, who says everything's going to be cool, but I need you to step up your game. And
right,
Kamala Harris is the person that if something comes down, she's going to support you. But if something comes down, she's going to have your back and know how to fix it. Those, that's who we're getting with those two, in
And I
my
think
mind.
I think people, like you say, they're getting tired of the chaos and all the bullshit that they've experienced for the 8 years. And I think they long for the time of the Obama era. Because whether you liked Obama or not, low drama, very calm, No court cases. Nobody gets indicted. It was, we lived, we may have liked Obama, maybe not liked Obama, but we were able to live our lives. This is what I said in a TikTok one point. I said, all of this time this has been going on, we've been focused on this problem, this crime, this bullshit. When do we get to focus on our own issues, our own
Yep.
family, and our own lives? And people are ready to do that. And if Kamala just makes everything calmer, that's a win for her and a win for us because we've
Right.
been sucked into this bullshit for so long. We've been neglecting ourselves.
And we go to Obama. The only drama was coming from Mitch McConnell and his bullshit. He
Right.
kept fighting him for anything he wanted to do. If we give her a blue Congress, everything goes. And then the only thing she has to deal with is the stuff overseas, which panic is going to come on those sides because Putin knows he's fucked at
Yeah.
that point. Netanyahu is going to know he's fucked and he's going to have to figure something out on that point. And the rest of the world is going to turn around and go, oh, the economy, the U.S. economy is great. And they have a calming effort. There's no fool in the White House. Oh, and oh, yeah, that woman mean business.
Well, and I think
That's good.
and people will say that Donald Trump was uh, strong because everybody internationally was afraid of Donald Trump. Nobody's afraid of Donald Trump because he's easily manipulated. Kamala Harris, on the other side, is competent, smart, and tough. If they fear anybody, it's Kamala Harris.
Oh, they fear. And Donald Trump, dude, they didn't fear you. They just didn't want to get caught on camera punching you out.
Yeah,
I'll be honest. I mean, every one of those people, even Angela Merkel wanted to punch him in the face.
yeah,
Let's be honest. I mean, the only people that, no one feared him.
no,
And the thing about and the thing, they feared Joe Biden, but they respect Joe Biden.
yeah.
How the hell do you think he got that hostage deal done when he gets someone to give up a convicted criminal because it's you? I'll do that for you
Well, and it's
to
not so
get those
much.
hostages home. That was amazing.
It's not so much even about fear. It's about respect.
Exactly.
And Donald Trump had no respect from anybody,
No.
including in this country.
And Kamala Harris already has respect on the world stage. They know who she is. And that's why the bad actors do not want her. And and that's the thing. You're talking about calming. Everything gets calm. The
Yeah,
economy will stay steady. If there's a crisis, I trust her to fix that. And then if you give her a blue Congress, we don't have that bullshit that comes in because you'll have the little whining puppies that'll be
yeah,
left over from the MAGA that
yeah,
get elected, but there's just going to be whining little snippy things we can tell shut up.
yeah.
That's when, and then on the world stage, what about the world? They're going to go, they're going to take a deep breath and they exhale. The majority of our allies are going to go, thank you, God. And you're going to see everything come down. And then you're going to see a resolve in NATO and a resolve in Israel with the Israeli people to deal with their problems.
Well,
That's going to be a big difference.
and you make a good point. When we do the podcast and in the TikToks, I hear a lot from people in other countries, Canada, Ireland,
Mhm.
the UK, Mexico. People, I hear from them all, and they all have the same attitude. They're scared to death that
Mhm.
Donald Trump will get reelected because they know it will trickle down to them somehow. It either make
Right.
the hard right more powerful in their country, or some egregious thing will happen in this country that will affect them. So if anybody wants to know what the international attitude is about, they don't want Donald Trump anywhere
No, they
near the
don't.
White House.
And let's put it in perspective. For those of you who are still undecided and don't want to vote for Kamala Harris, basically she's a woman. Just admit it. Mexico just inaugurated their first woman president. Mexico.
Yeah.
Okay. Just sit there and think about that for a second.
The
That
machismo capital of the world.
they embraced her. I saw the ceremony. I mean, that was like, and someone who studied Mesoamerica, that was Aztec to the core. I was
Yeah.
like, wow. But the point is, there's a woman president of Mexico. She's running that country. Okay, Why is that good for the Mexicans, but not good for America? Explain that to me, idiots. I'm just saying, because Mexico has a rep and they got a woman president. So explain it. Just asking.
You know,
So, hey,
as much as the Republicans want to make it an issue, my sense right now is the fact that she's a woman, a black woman, a South Asian woman. That's the least of the concerns that people have about Kamala Harris. There's so much other shit that they can't even focus on race and gender. They're realizing it's bullshit. We want to get better. We want things to be better in this country. And they're willing to jump on board anybody that can bring it to them. And they believe Kamala can do it.
and that's where we're at in the end. It's going to be a 30-day chaos
Shit
ride.
show. It's going to be a
It's
shit
going to be,
show.
it's a clown show, shit show. Um, Donald Trump is going to, I mean, this, the presser he had in Georgia is just going to, it's going to get worse. His little small crowns and with, look, I know denial is not just a river in Egypt. When you look in front of your whole crowd, of your very tiny crowd in Wisconsin, and go, only us can fill this half of a crowd as best it can.
Yeah.
That is either a really bad flex or that is just delusion beyond belief. I saw that and go, you really want us to buy that?
And
Meanwhile,
then they
in
leave
Flint,
early.
Michigan, they're lining up an hour to get in to see Kamala Harris and
Right.
at her rallies.
There's definitely a movement going on in this country, and it ain't the direction of Donald Trump. They're tired of Donald Trump. They're bored with Donald Trump. They're afraid of Donald Trump. And at this point, Kamala Harris offers an option that people like. And that's the trend that's going to show up in November. And after that, I mean, Donald Trump has delayed everything. He always, and I know how narcissists think, I'm going to delay it for 6 months or a year, and it's never going to happen. They don't think that it's ever going to happen. Well, those delays come to an end in 30 days, and then
Right.
he can't do anything. He can't delay shit anymore. So he's got to be freaking the fuck out right now.
Does he not understand, like with the indictment release, if he hadn't delayed that and done it in the Supreme Court,
Yeah.
it wouldn't have come out in October right now. And the point is,
It wouldn't have come up at all if he didn't
and,
fucking try to get immunity.
and it doesn't have anything to do with the DOJ. I've heard that DOJ agent bullshit. No, it is her court case and Judge Kutchin's case. The Supreme Court gave it back to her and go, okay, now determine what is immunity, what's worthy of immunity and what is not. Okay. And then they tried to delay it. And they told her, well, it's an election interference. Her statement basically to get through the legalese, that's your problem, bro. This
Yeah.
is my court. This is what we're going to do right now. You don't like it, tough. And here's the thing, it's too late.
It is
You
too late.
can't you cannot hide these the documents are out. You're finished. Just deal with it. And all your crying ain't going to save it.
No,
But but I'm just as we come down to it because it's my time, 12:30. Hi guys, I
yeah, we
stayed up for
gotta,
you. Um, but the point is, for all those people I keep seeing on the TikTok, first ignore the ignorance. You know they're lying. You
yeah.
know people are going to come up with stuff to get clicks and looks. Look, I've been saying the same shit, and I got 1,200 people following me because I just talk shit and don't worry about it. Thank you
Oh,
for others follow it. And the point is, and I get a lot of people too. The panic. Don't panic.
no.
Don't worry about what they're going to say. Don't worry about the press going to say. Call them out, and I will do that. But also keep an eye on um the lower races. Look for those people. Talk about that. Don't
Yeah,
talk about the upper ticket. Talk about the Jim Jordan. Talk about well, that Senate race in Pennsylvania, the Senate race in Ohio, the one in Florida, because I do not want death itself coming back into the Senate with
right.
Rick Scott. Look at those because that's the next. I want to be really confident. Let's not worry about Kamala Harris. Let's worry about what we're going to give Kamala Harris in November. Because if we don't take care of that, everything we're doing will be another chaos. We
Yeah,
cannot have that.
it'll be more chaos. And people will say, well, what if they do this? What if they do that? I'll just say this to you as we wrap things up. What if they do all that shit? They've failed every time, and there's not enough time to get anything done. It's already been set in stone. The
Yeah.
destiny is there. We know what's going to happen. They can't fix it now.
And I'll paraphrase like a couple a few podcasts ago when we were talking about Civil War. I'm going to say again what Ulysses S. Grant, when he took over the Army of the Potomac, and they told him, "Hey," they kept telling, "This is what Lee's going to do. Lee's going to do. Lee's going to do," and that's what they keep telling us. This is what Trump's going to do. Trump's going to do. Trump's going to do. You don't worry about what Trump's going to do. You worry what we're going to do to Trump,
Right.
and that's what we're going to do on November 5th. Worry about that. And so bring up the maps, bring up the cannon. Let's get this over with on November 5th. That's what
Ab-
we're going to do. So,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Will, thank you for joining me today. I appreciate it. It's always good to talk to you and get your insights. I know people look forward to it. Make sure you check the comments on YouTube because there's always some questions and you're better
yeah,
to answer it than I am. So,
I do. Yeah, it's fun. And then, yeah, I'll probably get a shitload of things about pineapple and pizza. Sorry, I am who I am. But also, yeah, Binder 30 US at TikTok. Any questions? I'd love for you to follow me. Also on YouTube, check it out. We'll do what we can. But I appreciate it, Mike. It's been fun. I always refer to you as my senpai, which is,
senpai.
senpai is Japanese for like teacher. So I just
Oh,
take your example, and
okay.
all the anime people are going, "Ooh, they know what that is." But yeah, because I just figure everyone uses cap cuts and all that. I'm going, hell, if the white guy in Minnesota can get following and just talk shit, the Puerto Rican in Georgia can do the same. So I appreciate it. So
I don't edit shit. It's just
exactly.
that was my scientific experiment. I'm just going to sit here, say what I have to say. If people want to hear it, they'll listen. If they want something fancy or see me lip syncing or dancing, wrong fucking place.
No,
I'm
there are
just going to
cat
do what I
videos on
do.
TikTok for that,
Yeah,
and I
no,
follow them all the time.
and I don't have
But
a
yeah,
cat, so
yeah. But you guys have a good night. Thank you, Mike. You guys be safe out there, okay? And
all right,
remember, keep the faith. That's what we got to do.
we'll be fine.
Mhm.
Thank you, Will, and for those of you listening, thanks for taking the time to do it. I hope you have a great day. We'll talk to you again tomorrow.